Are you thinking about putting a pool in your backyard, but you're not even sure where to start for budgeting for a type of project like that? Well, you're not alone. I'm Drew with River Pools, and today I'm going to be walking you through what you should expect when it comes to the budget of a pool project, some of the hidden costs, and even some financing options on how to pay for such a large project like this. So you can plan smart, avoid surprises, and stay in control of your dream backyard oasis. Let's get started. I'm not broken. Okay, so we're going to be talking about fiberglass pools because we're a fiberglass pool installer. You've obviously got three choices. You've got vinyl liner, concrete, and fiberglass. So we're going to be talking about fiberglass today, but generally the things I'm talking about today will still apply to the other two types of pools. So let's start with the big one. How much is this pool actually going to cost you? For our base packages with all of our pool models, you're going to be looking at anywhere between $60,000 to $80,000 with the base package. Full excavation, putting the pool in the ground, backfilling around it with the proper materials, filling it full of water, and a standard pump and filtration system. Now 60 to 80 grand, that's a bit of a difference. Now that factor really depends on the size of pool you choose, how accessible your backyard is, some of the challenges we're gonna have to face with your specific project with grading and water runoff and all that kind of stuff. But just as a baseline, $60,000 to $80,000 is going to be your general price range from pool sizes down to a 10 by 20 up to 16 by 40. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. All right, so let's talk about some things that are going to affect the price of your overall project. So you've got the base install. Now, if you want things like an auto cover, a heater, more lights, that's the kind of big ticket items. It's really going to increase the cost based off of what you want for your project. An auto cover, depending on who's installing it and where you are in the country, is going to range anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000. If you want a heater, that's an extra couple $1,000s for the heater itself and the gas hookup itself, because that needs to be done by a licensed gas fitter. The more lights you have is going to increase the cost because you're going to have an electrician come out and hook up your lights. Another big upgrade that you're going to want to consider is chemical automation, because chemicals, they are an upkeep. And if you do chemical automation, it's actually gonna make that process a lot easier. We use an automation panel by Poolside Tech known as the Attendant. It connects to your phone and it literally monitors everything, and it doesn't matter what brand of pump, filter, or heater that you have, it knows how to communicate with all of those things. So you can maintain and look at your chemicals from your phone, and then if you have automatic acid dosing, you can bring your pH up and down when you need to. On a fiberglass pool, I actually highly recommend you have some sort of chemical automation system, because it's really gonna save you that heartache of making sure that the gel coat doesn't fade prematurely because you didn't maintain your chemicals properly. It's got a higher upfront cost, but honestly, in my opinion, it's gonna save you time and heartache in the future. And if you want features like these fire water features or a diving rock back there, that's just extra landscaping. So that's gonna incur more cost. So your pool installation is one thing. Your patio is actually a completely separate animal when it comes to the amount of cost that that's gonna incur for your pool project, because depending on how much patio you get, if you get concrete, if you get pavers, it could cost the same amount as the base package install for just getting the pool in the ground. Check the prices in your area, but I mean, prices in our area are about $18 a square foot for brushed concrete, and then for patio pavers, it's about $35 a square foot. And if you need a retaining wall, that's gonna be another big cost. We could call that a hidden cost for your pool project. So definitely get in touch with your local installer, talk about your yard specifically, see if you're gonna need a retaining wall, and talk about patio options, because that could cost more than your pool, depending on what you want. The good thing about an auto cover is that it's actually done in 2 phases. And if it's too much for you to pay for the full auto cover up front, I recommend that you actually do the first phase of the auto cover installation, because that first phase of the auto cover actually has to be done before the patio material is applied around your pool. So that auto cover shell and the tracking has to get put into your pool and into your patio before the second phase would be completed, which is the actual rolled up cover itself. So if that cost is a little bit too big for you up front, I would definitely recommend doing phase 1, saving, and then doing phase 2 later. Let's talk about a little bit of hidden costs though, because sometimes these can sneak up when you're in the midst of your project and now you have to pay an extra couple $1,000s that you didn't originally plan for. So some of those things would be like fencing. If you live in a certain area where an auto cover is not adequate for safety, you're gonna have to put a fence around your pool. So you're gonna have to know those codes beforehand. Depending on where you live, if you live in like a constrained, tight-knit city area, you're probably gonna have to haul the dirt that's excavated out for your pool off-site, so that's gonna incur more cost. Before you start your project, you need to plan for yard reclaiming, because if you just leave your backyard a big dirt mess, When you get rain and big torrential downpours that come, you're actually gonna wash away all of that land around your pool. So if you reclaim your grass, whether it be with sod or grass seed, it's gonna really hold that ground in place. So definitely plan for grass reclaiming after your pool has been installed. That was a bird. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was really close to my head. All right, let's talk about operational costs. You've got the pool, so now what? Good news is fiberglass pools, out of the 3 types of pools that we touched on right at the beginning of this video, are the most maintenance friendly compared to those types of pools. You're gonna be spending less money on chemicals, and you're gonna spend less time physically scrubbing and cleaning this thing because it's got a nice, smooth, non-porous surface that is resistant to algae, so it's easier to scrub. There's gonna be less algae in the first place, so it's easier on your chemicals as well. Hey! Go home! So, can you finance your pool? Absolutely. In fact, most of our clients do finance their pools. There's a number of ways to do it. I'm not a financial guru. I'll leave a link in the description. River Pools actually has a whole article on different ways to finance your pool and pay for it. But basically you have home equity lines of credit, you have home equity loans, you got personal loans. There's something called, what was it? There's something called cash out refinancing, which is basically just getting a new mortgage, paying for your old one, but including a higher mortgage to pay for the pool, or you could just save up and pay cash. So there's quite a few ways to pay for your pool. I'm gonna leave that link in the description because it's gonna be able to explain it a lot better than I can. I'm a pool installer, I'm not an accountant. Okay, we're gonna go on a little adventure and we're gonna walk out to the fiberglass pool shells, not this one. Okay, so do you wanna avoid blowing through your budget because it's a construction project? It's basically a house construction with the amount of laborers involved and contractors. So blowing out your budget definitely can't happen. So let's talk about how to not do that. Here's what we tell people. Know your priorities, know your must-haves, and then know your deal breakers too. Because if an auto cover is too expensive for your pool project and that really is a deal breaker, then make sure you know that beforehand so you can either save for the future or go with a completely different project. Don't be afraid to ask your local installer either. I mean, we're here to help. We know this world, so we can definitely help you when it comes to making those decisions. So there's your rough outline on how to budget for a pool in 2025. If you want to learn more about pricing, check out this video right here where I actually talk about our prices for 2025. And if you want to learn more about fiberglass pools in general, just check out our page. I got quite a bit of stuff and I'm continuing to make videos. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you there.